make you nervous. A tragedy, I'm a beautiful disaster. A reckoning, you wonder how I got this way.
Hi guys, good morning or good evening, whatever time it is in your world as you're watching this. I'm just getting started for today, and I put together this sort of mashup of Invictus coverage and, parts of my day, like snippets of my day that I included in a little short a few hours ago. So it's kind of like going to be a weird video, as if all my videos are not a little bit weird, but this one is just sort of like I'm talking about the Invictus Games, but yet you're seeing me in a wine shop and, on a bus or whatever, and you're just like, what is this woman doing? It's just a mashup. It's like a 4 a.m. in the morning mashup. Okay, my darlings. Listen, I wanted to talk about the Invictus Games, and this subject today is, or the question is the UK and ITV sabotaging the Invictus Games, right? So, the Invictus Games are happening right now in Vancouver and Whistler, as you know. Harry and Meghan are there. They're making a huge splash. I mean, it's a huge event, right? A global celebration of veterans, resilience, and the power of sport. But guess what? If you are in the UK, apparently and allegedly, if you're in the UK, you probably wouldn't even know it because ITV, which is a UK broadcast media, whatever they are, they secured an exclusive deal. They have the exclusive rights with the Invictus Foundation to broadcast the Invictus Games in the UK. And so they get this contract, they pay big money for it, I guess. And then what do they do with the coverage of the Invictus Games? Radio silence. And if it's not radio silent, it's like little itsy bitsy bits here, little itsy bitsy bits there. It's like, it's almost like they wanted to have really low ratings and really low viewership so that they can, come out and say, oh, on a scale of 1 to 586, Invictus was at 478 in terms of rankings or something. I mean, I don't know, but it just seems like it's sabotage because apparently as of yesterday when I was watching, I think it was Brian, but it could have been Brian Squatties, or I don't know where I heard this story, but um I think it was yesterday or the day before. As of that time, the people in the UK hadn't even seen the opening ceremony of the Invictus Games, you guys. I mean, is that not sabotage or what? And apparently, ITV is saying that the reason for this is a time difference, right? They're claiming that the time difference between Vancouver and the UK is the reason for not broadcasting the games. And I'm just like, really? Right, really? I mean, we're talking about a major international sporting event, one with deep ties to British veterans and the UK monarchy and to the UK military, right? And the UK monarchy itself. And the best excuse that ITV can come up with is that there's a time zone difference and so they can't broadcast in real time. I mean, when the royal family travels to Australia, to Canada, to, remote islands in the Pacific, yeah, they have real time coverage, right? So what do you mean, there's a time zone difference and so they can't broadcast? Now, to me, that just sounds like, it just sounds like sabotage to me. I don't know what you think. I mean, if I'm being completely honest with what I think, it just looks like deliberate sabotage. I mean, think about it. King Charles is the commander in chief of the UK Armed Forces, okay? He's the commander in chief of the UK Armed Forces. And And he hasn't even wished Team UK good luck, right? Has Prince William wished him good luck? I don't think so. They've been radio silent, not even a tweet, right? And yet, when the Euros are on, the Olympics, or any other sport event happens, you'd better believe they're front and center. So why the snob, right? Because I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why, because the Invictus Games are Harry's project and they're jealous, right? And the UK establishment would rather hurt their own veterans than give Harry a win, which is really interesting because if you think about it, they wished Harry happy 40th birthday. They made a whole to do about it on social media and wished him happy birthday on his 40th birthday. So that sort of had the media like singing their praises, how big they were, how classy they were, burying the hatchet. Harry's still a part of the family, this, that, and the next, right? So even someone like me might be tempted to think, oh, that's good. It means, there's bygones be bygones, water under the bridge, they're moving on and so on. But if that were true, right, that they were genuinely wishing Harry a happy birthday, then they would have been able to put aside any residual differences with Harry to honor their own veterans, right? Rather than this radio silence, like not even good luck, not even congratulations, nothing to the veterans. It's very bizarre. I mean, do you agree that, the veterans would have been saying good luck to the veterans would have been the least that the commander in chief of the armed forces of the United Kingdom could have done, whether or not his son was involved, especially his son that he has no hard feelings for, to the point that he actually said happy birthday to Harry. So it means that this happy birthday wish was air. It was hot air coming out of his you know what, right? It was more like a fart. It wasn't really, it wasn't, a breath of fresh air. Certainly it was, look, these men, William and Charles, these men, they show up for tennis, they cheer at football matches, but when it's about wounded servicemen and women, they discriminate. Wounded servicemen and women who fought for their country, but now they are, you know injured, and they're trying to rebuild their lives. You just hear crickets from William and Charles. I mean, and let's not just pretend that this is just an oversight, because if they wanted to acknowledge the games, they would as easily as they said happy 40th birthday to Harry, right? That's how easy it would have been, right? So what's next? Well, apparently, as we all know, the Invictus Games are going to the UK soon, right? So if the Monarchy and ITV and the British media want to play these games, how does Harry get ahead of it? I think the answer is simple. I think he needs to go fully independent, like streaming platforms like Netflix, Amazon, and even a dedicated Invictus Games app would make sense to me. I mean, I'm not a techie woman. You know that house. I struggle with my YouTube channel for that reason. I have no concept of technology, right? But I would imagine that they could create some kind of Invictus Games app, right? And they could put the power directly in the hands of the people and take it out of ITV and their ilk, and certainly the UK media and the UK monarchy, right? Um, so they can do like global live streaming on Netflix, YouTube, or have an app, an Invictus Games app, and they could even do like like partnerships with international TV, stations, media like ESPN, NBC, CBC in Canada, etc., right, etc. They could also do like massive social media, like real time highlights on TikTok, Instagram, and God forbid, X, even X, if they're into that kind of thing, right? I just feel like there should be no reliance whatsoever on UK networks. They should bypass traditional UK media entirely and just cut him right out of the story. Just cut him right out of your story. You're not in my story anymore. You're trying to sabotage me. It's over. You're done. Right? That's how I see it. At the end of the day, I just think the Invictus Games are about the veterans.
I make you nervous, a tragedy, I'm a beautiful disaster, a reckoning, you wonder how I got this way.